Infielder Blake Barthel, starting pitcher Jacob Morrison. Coach, we'll have you start off with just an opening statement talking about the preparation for the weekend, where the team's at, and then we'll go ahead and get the questions.
Well, we're one of 16 teams in the country to have the opportunity to play at home. This team has played as consistent as well the last 15 weeks as any team to ever play here at Coastal Carolina, and they obviously deserve this opportunity. So we're really proud of them and excited about what's ahead.
Questions?
Coach, is there any added pressure knowing that you are hosting a regional with the success that you've had so far this regular season? You haven't been to a Super since 2016 when you guys won the World Series. Just is there any added pressure with hosting it here?
Well, the expectations and standards of Coastal baseball are extremely high. The last 25 years now, we've been as successful as any team in the entire country. So we welcome pressure. Our mentality is to prepare at an extreme high level. We feel like our attention to detail and our daily commitment to our grit and our grind is what separates us, and that will be the deciding factor this weekend is how well we play and how well we execute. If we execute at a high level, we'll be very successful. We've executed at a high level. We've won 18 straight at this point. We've swept 7 weekends in a row. So can't be more excited about where our team's at.
Kevin, in terms of winning the first game of regional, it's always crucial to do so. In the past, it's kind of been a struggle to have that done here, especially in Conway. How much have you, as a coach and a coaching staff, really honed in on, taking care of business that first game so you're not playing behind the 8 ball, so to speak, as you guys have in the past?
Well, we told these guys we got to win tomorrow. It's important. No, it comes down to, again, it just comes down to executing. Look, at this stage of the game and of the year, you've got to execute at a high level. And if you execute at a high level, winning will take care of itself. But you guys remember 2 years ago, we played a familiar team in the MAC, Rider, which, believe it or not, Rider University is on the same road as my high school. And that was a dagger for them to beat us 2 years ago. But they deserved it. They played very well. Ultimately, we can't take these guys for granted. Fairfield's a very good team.
If your approach in terms of what the rotation may look like this week is it changed? And I'm sure it probably hasn't, given the fact that what you're doing has worked. But what do you take as a mindset going into postseason baseball at this point with so much riding on the outcome?
And nothing really changes. Nothing really changes. I just am very excited to pitch. I feel as my preparation is some of the best in the country, and that no matter what, I'll lay it all on the line to win some ball games for us.
Blake, I wanted to ask you about just being an experienced guy that's played in a Conway Regional before.
Yeah.
How can you kind of use that experience and just kind of help lead this team through this journey?
We're going to take it as any other game, really. Coach is going to prepare us and have a plan for us, and we're going to execute that. And we're going to love our fans being here, and they're going to excite us, and we're going to be ready to go come Friday.
Blake, dovetailing off of that, any fuel off of last year going up to Clemson and not being able to win the regional to sort of take you into what you've been able to accomplish thus far this season and maybe motivate you into the NCAA tournament? Yeah,
honestly, Schnall at the end of that regional, he looked me in the eyes. He said, next year we're winning this thing. So I vividly see that every day, and that's my motivation. That's our motivation. Schnall is our motivation, and our team's our motivation to win. So
we've been to the regional final 3 years in a row. So this team is ready for this opportunity. But again, it starts with game one. Blake Barthel is one of the most complete players to ever play here. Jacob Morrison's one of the biggest winners to ever play here. You guys 11-0. He's an extreme high competitor. So we're lucky with what we have in our dugout, and again, we're excited about what the weekend holds.
Coach, speaking on that top to bottom, you've had a couple of injuries late in the season, but guys have filled in roles on the depth in this roster. And you look at the stat sheet, no one necessarily stands out. Obviously, Mo 11-0, and others on the pitching staff, but just what goes into the recruiting process to be able to draw guys here year after year, 1 through 35 on the roster, that puts you in a position to be where you're at right now?
Well, the lifeblood of our program is recruiting. The staple of our program is development. You look at our roster, we've got 18 different states represented on our roster. Everybody on our roster is able to help this team win or they wouldn't be here. Injuries are a reality of a season, unfortunately. So we're prepared for injuries. We talk a lot about work while you wait. And, those guys worked extremely hard while they were waiting, and they've gotten opportunities, and they've done a great job. We're very fortunate, though. We got a great athletic trainer and Amanda Rothmeyer, and, we're trending in the right direction with some of those injuries.
Mo, you're a guy that obviously was out last year. Talk about working while you're waiting. Do a lot of work last year just to get yourself in a position to where you're at here. What's that meant to you, given the fact that you weren't able to contribute to the team 1 year ago as we went to the regionals up at Clemson, but now obviously a significant and huge leadership role as our Sun Belt Conference Pitcher of the Year. What's that been like to be able to achieve that goal for yourself individually, put your team in position to host this year?
It's been awesome. It's been a big goal of mine to come back and not only come back, but come back stronger. And I feel as though I have done that, but it really makes me feel grateful just to play the game of baseball. Like I didn't play for 600 days or something like that, and now I get to play every week. I get to throw, and it means a lot to me. I'm very excited just to be able to play baseball, especially at this high level.
You mentioned players up and down on the roster, especially as you have up there. But a player like Kobe Thorndike, just what has he meant the last month this season? I know it's hard to pick out one specific player. You guys have won 18 straight, but a player like Kobe, just what has he done that's been so successful, and what are you looking forward to most this week?
Well, Colby's somebody that was the National Junior College Player of the Year, so we had high expectations for Colby coming in. Colby's done a great job, especially in Sun Belt Conference play. But as Joe said, I think what separates this lineup is it's top to bottom. And the one stat that sticks out for me as a coach is our on-base percentage. We're over 410 as a team with our on-base percentage. We've led the country in hit by pitches. Nobody on our staff is telling a guy to get hit by pitch, but we got a bunch of relentless guys that are willing to get hit by pitch because they understand the importance of getting on base. And it's got to continue this weekend of getting guys on base.
Kevin, in terms of the rotation this week, at this point, I've got a feeling that you know kind of the game plan. Are you sticking with what you've been doing over the last couple of weeks, or are you going to kind of change things up in terms of who you're throwing out there tomorrow and then first on Saturday?
We're still assessing that right now. We're not 100% sure the direction we're going to go in. We've got a decent idea, but we're going to dive into it a little bit deeper the next couple hours as we're dissecting Fairfield a little bit more. But we've got great options. So whichever decision we go with, we're very confident in.
Being your first year, have you been able to lean on Coach Gilmore at all throughout this process, and what might those conversations look like?
The biggest thing is the foundation, right? This foundation, he laid to put us in the position that we're in right now. And, he's been missed all year, but I assure you his legacy is continuing on.
Fairfield's lineup 1 through 9 is a veteran group. Just talk about what they bring to the table and kind of what you expect to see out of them tomorrow when you guys sit down.
Well, they're tough kids. They've got a bunch of kids from New England and the Mid-Atlantic states. Their lineup, they've got 2 guys with 14 home runs. They've got 2 guys with over 20 stolen bases, 1 guy with 19. So they're going to be able to do a lot of different things. And if you don't control the running game and you don't handle the baseball, they'll be able to score some runs. They've got 2 arms. One arm's 9-1, one arm's 8-1. So they're accustomed to winning. They got 39 wins as a team. Bill Courier is a seasoned head coach who's been around for a long time, who's a very good coach, somebody that I have a great deal of respect for. So they'll be extremely prepared. They'll be extremely confident. Winning 39 games, not easy to do. We've got 48 wins, which leads the entire country. There are only 9 wins behind us.
For both players, with regards to the other teams that are here, both East Carolina and Florida should bring really good crowds. How excited are you guys about performing in what should be a great atmosphere all weekend? Like to start with you.
Yeah, we're always excited to play here. We love our fans. They get us, rowdied up, and always excited to play here.
Yeah, love to play at home. Excited when other people come, but love our fans. I think we have the best fan base in the country.
Anything else? All right.
Coach, I got one more. With regards to Mijos and Ty Dooley, what are we looking like this week? And I know that Ty played a little bit last week as a pinch runner, but what are we looking at in terms of maybe seeing some, batting and playing a little defense?
Yeah, Dean pinch ran last week. Ty Dooley, I think, maybe got an at bat. I'm not sure exactly, but I can tell you that they're both trending in the right direction. Dean took a lot of swings the last 2 days. Looks really good. Ty Dooley's moving much better. He's been swinging out for the last 10 days. He looks really good. Again, they're both trending in the right direction.